Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, and we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us in the challenge and more in-depth access to the in-depth exclusive video with full instructions, information and details are available in the description below. In the previous video, we did important updates for ticker symbol RDBX Redbox. We also did an important update for ticker symbol MULN Mullen Automotive, as well as a very important update for AQST, Aquestive Therapeutics. So please refer back to the previous video for updates on all three stocks. In today's video, we're going to be doing an update on ticker symbol MMTLP. There have been some further developments and some questions answered. So before we look at that, let's have a quick look at how happened in the market today and how the week has finished. So headline here, after close of market, we can see that tech shares did have a little bit of a rebound, but overall the stocks are still recording the worst week since March 2020. So in terms of the S&P 500, it was just up approximately 0.2% today. In terms of the Nasdaq, that was just up in excess of 1.4% on the session, but overall tech stocks have been hit badly. So before we make a start on ticker symbol MMTLP, I'm going to have a quick review of some of the stocks that were shared in the Discord prior to trading last week on the Monday. So there's some of the stocks that we called out. First of all, Sava. So again, congratulations to everybody who got into Sava. That's up close to 6% on the week and showing some good solid recovery, especially in a very, very difficult week of trading. We've also called out RDBX. This is a stock that has been featured on a number of occasions on the channel. And obviously this is an extremely volatile stock with some unique data, certainly from a point of view of cost to borrow and also the short interest data. This is a stock that we have been watching very carefully. The good news is it did cross $12 at close today. So again, Redbox is a stock which you certainly need to take profit in where you can. We also called out HUSA, but there was some bad news today with regard to oil. So oil stocks have taken a hit. Ticker symbol COGT, PALT and BLUE. So let's have a look at some of those stocks. So for anybody in ticker symbol BLUE here on the screen, you'll see today close of play the stock was up in excess of 16%. So congratulations to everybody who got in ticker symbol blue, which is also known as Bluebird Bio. It was down earlier in the week, but some tremendous gains today, and I think the best stock that did well this week is ticker symbol COGT, also known as Cogent Biosciences. So again, this was also called out in the Discord. It's up in excess of 17% today, and it's also up in excess of 33% on the week. So again, congratulations to everybody got in ticker symbol COGT. Let's now start to have a look at ticker symbol MMTLP. There have been some more questions answered. Most of these questions have been answered by John Burder himself on social media and Twitter. So let's start by having a look at a tweet here from today and what he said in response to a question here with regard to the dividend. And what he said is not exactly, it's been announced that the divvy will be in the form of shares. Therefore, when the S1 is filed and the process for the divvy is described, the path will be set. The shorts will have to deliver a share of Oilco somehow to the folks they borrowed from, and if still short. So again, this is huge recognition and a huge statement here in terms of something that we haven't officially received before. But let's have a look at what basically is looking like is going to happen now. So on the screen here, you'll see basically disposition of the oil and gas assets is now going to be planned as an exchange in a separate company. This company is going to be known as Oilco, and the owners of this will be everybody who has the Series A preferred shares, and also known as MMTLP. So the audit of the oil and gas operations now complete. So the company have carried out the necessary drillings in terms of the costs relating to maintaining the leases, looking at $14.2 million that was incurred by Meta. So upon completion of the exchange, everybody who is holding MMTLP will receive equivalent shares of Oilco common stock. In terms of the costs, so these are going to be carried by Oilco as a debt to Meta. Oilco is exploring options to secure additional short-term financing. Financing may not be completed. So let's have a look at some further details with regard to these developments. I'm going to now give a shout out to the Meta support channel and what we've seen in terms of a tweet today here. What they said is good timing on this video. So this is a video that was shared earlier by Tony Twits, which was very interesting with regard to a potential squeeze. The other thing, reason why we're looking at this tweet is because John has also responded to this. So what he said is, although the video has a lot of, is a lot correct, it's also gone on to say it has some issues and it is wrong about the divvy. So although calculations are presented here, John has said there is no accuracy with regard to the divvy. So whether that means the dividend is higher than expected or lower than expected in the video, we'll have to see. What he's also said, I'm not sure the shorts can stay short in this case, we will see. So that's something I think a lot of investors are looking at. And again, I'm going to now give a shout out to Doug C. And what he said here is, if Oilco is private, how do they buy Oilco? So obviously this is something that has been covered in previous videos. If Oilco, I have said that it will initially start off as a private company. We will not be easily able to sell any shares in Oilco once it's private, and nobody will be able to buy shares in Oilco once it's private. It's for us to receive cash equivalent of these shares in Oilco, it will have to move over to the OTC. So I do expect that to happen at some point after it is registered as an Oilco as a private company. But in response to this tweet from Doug, what John has said is exactly so. How are the shorts going to cover? So that is the next question now that everybody is looking at. So let's have a look at some further questions. First question here is from Gray, and what Gray has said here is, John, in terms of are these sensible and fair questions? Number one, how will the initial share price of Oilco be set? Number two, if Oilco is private, how will the shorts cover? Number three, if Oilco is publicly traded, would there be a grace period from filing to start of Oilco trading to enable MMTLP to squeeze? So three important questions there. And again, Doug Trainer 007 has also said, when they can't buy Oilco, wouldn't they have to buy MMAT and cover the Oilco value? So John has not answered the earlier questions, but what he has done, he has answered this question, and what he said is they have to buy Oilco, not MMAT, in order to cover. Oilco is the spin-out company and no remaining relationship with MMAT other than the note. So that is correct, because obviously it's a spin-out. The purpose of a spin-out is to keep it more independent and separate. So that's what it will happen in this case. Now I'm going to look at another question or another statement from Kyle, and he's also copied in John. And again, credit to John here for responding to some of these questions. And what Kyle has said here is, when you said you were researching what went wrong with MMTLP and how to prevent it happening again, I read that as you don't want the Oilco shares to be tradable and instead intend it to be on a private company on the right track, question mark. So John has not made a written statement, but he has added a GIF here, and on the GIF it says, you might be onto something. So basically what this tweet is summarizing here is, initially at the beginning it looks like they don't want the Oilco shares to be tradable. So the way that's going to happen is the company is going to be private. So again, what happens after that, we will have to wait and see. And finally, the next thing I'm going to share with you here is another tweet from John, but this is in regard to MMTLP, Meta Materials, and what he said here. Again, some positive news. However, although we did get positive news, like many times we've seen in the market, when a company often gets positive news, similar to what we had with AQST and also similar with Netlist, is when we get positive news, the share price does seem to often go down. So what's happened here, the positive news here, a lot to unravel, but huge news. Fits perfectly with Plasma Fusion. Of note, there are companies they are selling to. Enjoy this ride we are on. So the highlight here is that Meta Materials is expanding into next generation battery materials to enable safer transportation. So again, there was some breaking news here. Let's have a look at the breaking news from Meta Materials, and the headline here, June the 17th, 2022, Meta Materials is expanding into next generation battery materials to enable safer transportation. So this is huge news. So let's have a look at the details here. And what they have announced is that in terms of the company, the high developer of performance functional materials and nanocomposites, announced They are signing a definitive agreement to acquire substantially all of the assets and all of the intellectual property, and this includes 67 issued and 22 pending patents. So that's going to certainly put the number of patents that Metamaterials has to a significantly higher number. So the amount here is $48.5 million, and that's going to comprise of $3.5 million in cash and $45 million of Meta shares of common stock being transferred over, I presume. So in terms of the company that they're acquiring, this is a leading developer and licensor of nano composite battery separators and infrared optical coating technologies based in Massachusetts. The acquisition is expected to close in June. So again, this will be subject to closing conditions and regulatory approval. So again, very positive news here for Metamaterials. Finally, I'm just going to finish off here by providing some further details about this acquisition and potential here. So this is obviously to do with electrification and also EV vehicles. So on the screen here, in terms of the company, we can see the company is looking at replacing gasoline and diesel in terms of the move over to EV. The global market for lithium, as we know, is huge and currently estimated $5.1 billion in terms of the previous year, 2021, projecting to reach $9 billion by 2025, obviously as the demand for diesel and petrol will go down. So in terms of the company known as Optodot, it's a pioneering technologies company, and that this makes batteries safer for the next two decades in collaboration with leading OEMs, innovative startups and US government agencies. So this company will now be part of Metamaterials. So the company has licensed its first generation ceramic battery patents to LG Chem in 2016. It also has a portfolio of company of LG Technology Ventures, and it has projects that are funded with the US Department of Energy. So again, this is an example of a long-term potential for the company going forward. So I think most investors in Metamaterials agree that in the long term, certainly the potential is huge. Finally, if anybody would like to take part in live trading discussions and also take part in the challenge, you can join for as little as $9 a month. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.